Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
JoeJinMovieSoAwesome is a podcast where we break down movies and shows. If you like our stuff, please press like and subscribe. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
And we're going to break down House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 7. Spoilers ahead.
Major spoilers.
Every video we do are full of spoilers. We're thinking about putting it in the description. Everything is spoilers, and our videos are hours long. So if you press it, it's your fault, man or woman. I'm sorry. But anyway, hey, let me go first.
Okay.
This episode felt like episode 6 and 7 almost felt like part 1 and 2 of one movie. Like I think you mentioned it last time, where you said you hoped a lot of things were answered in this episode that was not answered in episode 6. And I think for the most part, episode 6 was set up for this episode. That's how I felt. Especially some key storylines have been resolved, like Laenor.
Yeah.
Now we know why Laenor was such a big deal in the prior episode. And it almost made me forgive. Like last episode, I remember like saying we didn't know Laena, right? But the funeral scene made it all better. Like it felt like we kind of got a sense of what she was by how other people reacted to her death, and that's why I felt like this was like like episodes 6 and 7 were complementary episodes. I think they want to stick in this time zone and complete it within 2 hours, and I do think the creators did a fantastic job overall.
Now, yes, I think that's what their goal was, but the only problem was, again, I think some things were a bit rushed.
Okay, let's go into that.
In these 2 episodes. So
let's go for the cons first then.
Okay, so one of the problems for me in this episode was these major events were progressed too quickly. So yes, Laena's dead, and yes, Laenor died.
Did he?
Yeah, or did he? But it's from the planning of Laenor's death to the actual witnessing of a burnt corpse. Yeah, it only takes like 2 minutes.
Okay,
that's like two minutes of explanation of what's going on. But I think that thing deserves like an entire episode if we remember Game of Thrones. But again, I'm just assuming that the writers are approaching something bigger, so they're just trying to get through this. But it still felt very rushed.
Okay, that's reasonable
for my taste.
Because for me it was a little different. Because for me the Laenor scene made this episode perfect. It kind of made me understood why they spent so much time where there were so many scenes between Rhaenyra and Laenor in the prior episode, and that continues here. Because I felt for my man Laenor, and they made us care about him. But if you watch it a second time, you kind of know that there's a surprise waiting at the end. And it's a beautiful one because I think this episode was like, you have to watch it emotionally a little, because there have been so many violence and hints of future violence that Laenor's like happy ending made me feel good. Like, I'm like, thank God, you lucky bastard. You're going to get out of here. Don't come back to the Seven Kingdoms, my man. Go to East with Sir Carl and have a happy ending. Never come back here. That's how I felt. And I'm glad that it also made Rhaenyra and Daemon's character interesting. It's like another instance of gray characters, because we know Daemon is a wife murderer, but like we as an audience know, and the characters in the show suspect. But I'm glad that he got that kind of finale, because I thought the setup was okay, actually. And I think you have to watch the episode 6 and 7 as like a whole thing. Then that was cathartic, because like I was like, when it was happening, I was like, are they really going to kill him? And it turns out there are hints in the dialogue that they're planning for him to escape. Like.
And they're trying to make sure that there are witnesses.
Yeah, exactly. And the sea is freedom. I was like, is that a euphemism for death?
Like, of all the places they choose, like the King's Chamber.
Yeah. And this episode was stronger than the prior episode, because prior episode had a lot going on in different events. But here, it's about a funeral. It starts with a funeral. It ends with a funeral. So I thought, because remember in like prior episodes, episode 4 was it? That was the hunting thing. There are always these single events that puts the episode together, and I think that's why this episode was done well, because it's happening in a day, and what's happening in a day is basically representative of everything that's going to happen.
Good point.
Yeah, so I thought that was stronger because of the funeral, because there was a very sound reason for all these people to be here, all these people who have different interests, have different conflicting interests. Yeah. I have a different minor gripe about this episode. I fucking hated Ser Cole. Like his like, see, this is why they needed to explain.
This is one, like you mentioned, Criston Cole is one question that is still unanswered.
No, I didn't get it. Like, cause they kind of assume that we know it, but like, what does a sworn protector mean? Like, you're still members of the King Guard, but first of all, I was disturbed by his insolence towards the king, because when the king was saying, "I want answers," like, motherfucker.
Like, I should have your fucking tongue right now.
I don't even think Daemon goes that far. Like, who are you to talk to the king that way? Like, because I thought Viserys was seriously gonna say like 2 seconds. What the fuck did you say to me? like talking back. Like, I mean, this is a medieval society, and king is an absolute monarch here. And when he asks a question,
you answer.
You better give a bullshit answer to like keep your like. What did he?
Because remember what Ser Criston Cole confessed to the Queen in the earlier episodes. Yeah, he was very obedient. He was very straight to the point. He was not afraid to hide anything.
No, but here, but what I don't understand is what is the sworn protector thing going on here? Because like when Alicent says, okay, if the king won't find justice, the queen will, and then it's like. It's almost as if like she can outrank the king. But remember, these are King's Guard. They protect the royal family, yes. But the king has the last say in all matters. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why does the queen get to override? And why is Criston Cole like seriously contemplating it?
Yeah, and remember he was approaching, and Daemon had to stop him.
Yeah, and why is the commander like worried about him?
Sir Harold?
Yeah.
I was actually I was expecting him to approach Criston Cole, like slap him in the face or something.
Yo. Predictions here. I think
and then he would apologize to the king.
I'm going to make a prediction here. Criston Cole, that motherfucker's going to kill that guy. I have a prediction.
To become the leader.
Yeah, when there's a coup, because...
it's called Lord Commander.
Yeah, I think the Lord Commander, he's going to die, because they're already setting up some conflict between him and Cole, because they give the vibe that they hate each other. And I think Cole is going to kill him. Like, because Criston Cole is the Green Loyalist, right? And he's almost a fanatic.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that the show needs to explain to us.
But I did feel like that was...
Yes, we now see that he's changed, but at least give us an explanation behind it.
Okay. No, but like that was the one flaw for me, because I have a different opinion. Like, overall, this episode was great for me. Like, it was cathartic. It was... The tension building was amazing from the start. Remember the funeral? Like, you could feel that everybody was not comfortable being there.
And I also liked the little foreshadow of everything. Remember how Rhaenyra's kids approach
Baela, Daemon's daughters.
Yeah, and they hold hands.
Yeah, that was like, beautiful.
Okay, that's beautiful. But also, I think it's like a foreshadow of future alliance.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that future alliance is more explicitly shown in the incestual. Finally, uncle and niece gets to consummate their sexual desire. Like, how did you feel about it? I gotta be honest, I was not totally comfortable with the sex scene. Like, not because of the sex, but because they were uncle and niece. But I guess it's okay for Targaryens, right?
Yeah, I mean, remember Game of Thrones? We saw nephew and aunt.
Right.
Yeah, so why not?
Jaime and Cersei, right?
No.
No, I know. Jon Snow and Daenerys, but I'm saying like Daenerys. I'm adding another one there. No, but hats off to the actors there. I did feel their sexual tension though in the funeral. Like, Rhaenyra's okay, go to bed. I'm gonna fuck your uncle. Go. He's a casual standing into bed. I need to talk to my sexual desire that I wanted for a long time. No, but I also love the funeral scene because you can tell everybody don't like each other. You can tell Princess Rhaenys is pissed. Like she has a brief scene with Rhaenyra, and she's not smiling. I mean, she obviously looks at her granddaughters. She just lost a daughter. My alleged grandchildren from my son are obviously not black. They're not black.
Nor are their hair white.
Yeah.
I mean silver.
Right, that's the key thing, right, about the Targaryens.
They're neither. Okay, so they're neither Velaryon. They're neither Targaryen.
No, but you know what though? My favorite line. I think a lot of people's favorite line will be this. I love Corlys Velaryon's line.
People don't remember blood.
They remember names.
They remember names.
You know what's weird is you could argue that that's very progressive, but because I think we're in medieval times, but you have to remember throughout history, a lot of different kingdoms did not prioritize bloodline at all. They stress names. For example, a lot of Japanese clan, when they don't have an heir, they would just adopt and then
give them names.
Yeah, give them their name. The bloodline isn't important. Same for the Roman Empire, right? They adopted their heir. Like of course they preferred their nieces and nephews if they had them, but throughout Roman history, most of them are not blood related, at least in the early Empire period. So he's and I love how Corlys, a complete black man, talks to his grandson like he's his real grandson. Hey, come here. You're gonna be. And then because I think there were little details. Remember in the fight scene, like Lucerys would go to Corlys, and Corlys would like hold his like grandson. So I love the grandfather vibe he gives. Yeah, because like it's empathetic. Like I think guys understand this better. If you're a granddaddy, like your grandson, you don't care if he's white, purple, or yellow. He's their kid.
You're my grandson.
Yeah, you're my grandson. Come over here. You can do no wrong. This is gonna be yours. And then Princess Rhaenys giving completely sound logic. They're not your grandson. We should give it to our daughter who we love, who just died. Of course, like fuck that. I want my legacy. And we also get a lot of hint of that his brother hating on Daemon. Like, yeah, that's right. He speaks Valyrian and is like, our blood is thick, and he looks at them like, what the fuck is that? That's like he continues to give that face of just choking on a cockroach, always unhappy, a second son that's unhappy. I like them.
And we also see Otto Hightower back as the hand of the king.
Yeah. His hair is messier, so to show us that he's old. But he's back to his old tricks. I like the scenes he had. Because
also the dialogue he has with
Alicent,
especially after she almost stabbed.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to
Rhaenyra.
that. We're gonna get to that. No, but Otto Tyre, like he's consistent,
and you could kind of tell that he was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So I didn't know my daughter had that in her.
And then I'm proud of my grandson who traded his eye for a weapon of mass destruction.
That's right.
Plus,
1,000 times worth the price he paid.
But I love the Alicent and Rhaenyra fight scene because of how Daemon and Otto are portrayed. Because they're in the corner watching, right? Thinking about how this situation can be their benefit, right? But you know what I felt? I could tell that Daemon and Otto were much more similar between each other than they like to admit. That's the vibe I got. I mean, people can have different opinions, but they're both second sons. And they're both scheming men. Because what I liked about the scene was that Rhaenyra and Alicent were the major forces. I really love that. I love how the camera works and people are surrounding them. They're basically like the two sons clashing. And I gotta say, I'm okay. Let's go into that. Like, which are you, Team Rhaenyra or Team Alicent, or do you have a different opinion?
I have a different opinion.
Yeah,
I don't care for either of them. I only care for Aemond.
Oh shit! Come on, let's go to Aemond later.
Fucking love Aemond.
No, let's go to later. I wanted to save that one, but let's get this first because I was sympathetic to both of them because like Alicent, like if your son loses an eye, like any mother would lose her shit. That's right.
Any mother, like queen or not, anybody. They would fucking stab and kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's what they would do.
The actor killed it, like, completely in her mind and a lot of her allies probably justified anger.
Not even the eye. If anybody leaves like a permanent scar on their son's face, they would fucking kill him.
And I love his slap to Aegon because that was such a mother slap. You fucking idiot! What the fuck were you doing? Like, that's like every Italian mother.
What the fuck were you?
Yeah.
Your brother needed you.
Yeah. And her plea towards the king, Viserys, your son. I almost wanted Viserys to say, and that's my grandson. Like, what am I supposed to do? But Alicent, with all her rage, but it's a trap though. Like, basically, she made a mistake because that's a political mistake. But Rhaenyra, I love that scene where the knife she's holding and the fire, and Alicent says family, duty, kingdom, right? But the camera work is so perfect because we know what Rhaenyra is thinking about. When she sees the dagger and the fire, she's thinking about her father's line.
Because remember, Viserys showed her the dagger and explained the weight.
The words in it about the ice, and then that was such a tense scene, and then Rhaenyra's comeback was brilliant. Oh, you good girl. Oh, was it tired lying to your fucking self?
Now they see you for who you fucking are.
Oh yeah, and then that was like a provocation, and Alicent falls for it. Basically, that's how I interpret it because like that was also true. What Alicent said was true too. You know, because you could argue that. I mean, it's Alicent's kind of fault to keep comparing herself to Rhaenyra, but what she says is right, that Rhaenyra is sort of flouting the rules, so to speak. And Alicent doesn't. I mean, remember, she was married off as a young girl. And we look at Viserys and the children, she obviously did her duty. So it was a very complex emotional scene.
Yeah.
And it was done extremely well.
And props to the actresses.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it when Alicent, total gangster moment, then a debt needs to be paid. Then I will have one of her sons. I was like,
did we just come to Sicily here?
Old school Sicily.
I'm like, oh shit, that's some Godfather shit.
And the actor was really good. The Lucerys kid screaming in terror. And no, but now we're gonna go to our badass.
Aemond. Because remember, just an episode prior,
he was a timid kid.
He was timid, and I was feeling sorry for him. But now we see what he's made of.
He's a dragon.
Yeah. If it's not given to him, he's gonna take it.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking loved about him approaching that big ass dragon.
Yeah.
And remember, the dragon was
okay. Let's talk about Vhagar.
Yeah, Vhagar was like sleeping, and then this little bitch of a kid wakes him up.
Yeah.
And then I love the fact that Aemond had no fear to command that big ass dragon right there on the spot. That gave me like one of those No, like let me add on to that. There was fear, but he overcame that fear. Yeah, that's true.
And then what's beautiful about it is, just like prior episode, this is another dark tale of fables. You know how the boy and the dragon friendship is always in Disney? Like, oh, dragon!
That gave me a lot of those vibes.
Yeah, this huge Leviathan and a little kid. And, you know, we have movies like Little Kid and the Iron Giant.
Iron Giant.
Yeah, it's like,
we also see this often in animations like Gundam.
Yeah. So it's a returning trope. But what I loved about it is as soon as the Harry Potter moment is over, he comes back and he loses an eye. Like, this is a universe where I don't care about your Disney Happy movie. Like, if you have a magical moment, you're gonna get fucked up. So like, I like that about it. But the back to your stuff, I like. Last episode, I failed to see it, but that rope is basically like ship rope. Vhagar is so big that you
needed to climb it.
Yeah, I guess that has to do with the Valyrian tradition. But that was really interesting, and I love that we get more Valyrians, like High Valyrian spoken too. Because I looked it up, and what he said was "serve Vhagar." And Likril, was it? That means calm down. So he was using all these High Valyrians to a big ass dragon, and it was dangerous for a while because Vhagar almost like she had the fire ready,
just like barbecued him. Almost.
Yeah. And then the ride was magical because as soon as Sylvester, and then
it soars up in the sky. He almost falls off the dragon.
No. Not only, let's talk about the setup though. Like his feet. And then Because in the prior episode, I think they showed us that she is big, but this episode really showed how huge she is. She's enormous. Like, she's bigger than the other dragons by a lot, 3 to 4 times at least. I'm assuming because it's like earth-shaking feet.
Yeah, and I love the way they depict her flying under the moonlight. We can see the wingspan. Yeah, we can see how terrifying and enormous she really is.
She's huge, and then we love it because it's a big ass dragon and a little kid.
Oh, that's right, just a little kid.
And then what's beautiful is his personality change.
That's exactly right. And that's what I loved about this scene, especially when he comes back and he's ganged up against 4 kids. And in the prior episode, he was kind of helpless. Yeah, he would just let things happen to him. But this time, it wasn't the case. He now fights back. Not only that, the most badass moment of Aemond is when he said to Alicent, do not mourn me, mother. What was it?
Yeah, don't mourn me, mother.
Don't mourn me,
I
mother.
may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon.
I was holy shit, is this the same kid?
No, but there's hints of that because you can tell he's a far more intelligent kid than his older brother Aegon, who is a drunk. I defended him in the last episode, but I think he has addiction issues.
And yeah, that's true. And you bring up a great point. Yeah. We can tell that he is a lot more mature in the way he thinks, and he's also more intelligent, especially when Aegon is making fun of his sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No. So we're already seeing another version of the second son being possibly more competent. Not saying that it's an absolute truth, but possibly showing more traits of leadership, bravery, even. But what's interesting about Aemond was I think it's definitely a Targaryen thing because it also reminded me a lot of Alicent too. Because you know how Alicent, not Alicent, but I mean Rhaenyra. Because when her sexuality opens, she becomes more of a Targaryen.
That's right.
So
after that night with Daemon, she changes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of Targaryen thing has to do with sex, power, and dragons. Because that dragon ride definitely woke up the Targaryen.
That should have been our subtitle today. Sex, power, and dragon.
Yeah. No, but what's fascinating is dragon is kind of representative of power in this show. Because dragons are the ultimate power. And we have to remember Viserys' line, though. The fact people think we control the dragon, but it's illusion, he says, right? So something along that line. So it's also how dangerous Vhagar is, though.
Yeah.
Because when I watched it the second time, I was terrified by the fact that this 10-year-old boy can control that. That's terrifying.
That's, in modern terms, that's like weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, a kid that can control a Apache helicopter, basically.
Well, not Apache, like nuclear codes.
Sure. Like a bomber, right? One of those big ones, those big fucking bomb things. So that was terrifying to me. That was absolutely terrifying to me. And Targaryens are no stranger to violences. I mean, their whole history is full of violence, I guess. So that was that. I think he's a strong hint, but I think we disagreed here. But I think Otto calls him that rogue Aemond. So I did feel like he was kind of a second version of Daemon too, or at least the show is telling us that they're sort of similar, sort of.
Well, so far the impression I got from this episode of Aemond is that he shows a lot more of promises of being a conqueror than Aegon.
No, but you could argue that Daemon was, though. No, Daemon. Daemon is also fascinated with Aegon the Conqueror. I think Targaryens are born either dreamers, as Viserys is. I think Helaena is a dreamer now, definitely, because remember in the last episode, I didn't catch it like before, but she says something along the line of, you'll have to close an eye. To when she's with Alicent. So that's a hint at the eye thing. So she's like what Viserys wanted to become. I think she's an actual a crazy dreamer, like a prophecy thing. Because she says something like the dragons. She says something weird again this episode. I think that's hinting at the dragon violence. She says dragon like flesh something, and then I think she's a great addition to the show because I think as audiences now we have to listen to her. Oh, but you know who I was disappointed in this episode?
Who?
Larys Strong. I think he's a fucking just a stupid sociopath now. like him trying to fuck Alicent was the weirdest shit I've seen. Like
and the fact that Criston Cole had to mention it. That's like that creep's been looking at you, Your Highness.
No, you know what? I thought he was smarter than he was. I think he's just he's like a mad dog thing. Mad dog that prefers scheming over violence, but But I love Alicent how she's so queenly though. She's disturbed by him, but she's so smart that she says something along the line of
it's like one day I will
thank
need
you for that won't be necessary because I keep cursing, I'm sorry, but that piece of shit mentions eye for an eye. I was like, shut the fuck up, man. But Alicent was like, oh, thank you for that, but that won't be necessary. But maybe
there
in the future
might come a time, when I need such approaches.
Yeah, and her key word is discretion. And I felt like Alicent was so queenly in that I think she's taking her father's advice seriously now because she's using the political tool available to her.
Yeah.
And
so far, what I like about both Alicent and Rhaenyra is we no longer see the what can I say?
The child in them?
Well, not just the child, but they're not as flat as we saw from characters like Cersei.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
because I mean, yes, Cersei was a complex character, but we can all agree that she was a complete total bitch. that's how we can completely tell her. But with Rhaenyra and with Alicent, they're a lot more complex.
What are you trying to say is these characters have many shades?
Yeah, many shades, many dimensions. That's what I like about them so far. And the writers are really taking their time to make sure that we eventually find all sorts of ways to sympathize with them.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what's interesting is though, between Rhaenyra and Alicent is the one with two fanatics working for her. Remember, Criston Cole and Larys. Criston Cole is a fanatic. That's the impression I got. He's also like a mad dog. There's no, he's completely partial towards her.
But what I like about what I like about those two fanatics working for Alicent is that Alicent didn't orchestrate this.
She used
it wasn't exactly orchestrated or engineered or planned. It just happened.
Yeah, she took advantage of a situation. Arguably, you could say. Arguably. See, that's why you need. I still feel like I needed the scene with, right after the Joffrey beating. I needed a scene where Alicent defends Criston Cole, and as you put it last time, put him in her pocket. So
or also the moment when Alicent tried to stop Criston Cole from killing himself. I want to see what happened after that.
Yeah, I think the show has some problems in there. I think the show treats us smarter than we are. Sometimes we need explanation.
Or maybe it'll be shown in the upcoming episodes.
I don't know though. I think I'm not sure. I think they're doing the best they can. And I think I mentioned this last time. Efficiency. They have limited time, so this is why this episode was great. In that I can't believe they achieved all this in an hour. And almost seamlessly, because even up to the wedding, I thought the wedding was beautiful. That's some weird Targaryen wedding going on there, right?
Yeah.
It kind of like Tibetan, it kind of makes sense because Targaryens came from the east to the west, so they would have this weird like
a different tradition.
Yeah, Asian or nomadic fusion thing going on. I did feel bad for the kids though. Our parents just died, and is that my
new daddy? My new mommy?
My grand uncle and my mother getting married. Did my father just get murdered? And is my mother and uncle possibly responsible? Because I don't think they're going to tell the kids. They're not going to tell the kids. But I do think they're going to tell Rhaenys though later. Because I love Princess Rhaenys in this episode because you could tell she doesn't care about her husband's ambition. She cares about her children's children now.
So I kind of feel sorry for her. She didn't deserve that.
Yeah. No, but what I'm trying to say is, in the future war, even though she probably hates Daemon and hates Rhaenyra, she loves Baela and Rhaena, and she's gonna have to be on their side.
Yeah.
And you know what? She has a dragon too. So that's I think that's a plus. I think that was it was clearly shown that she cares nothing anymore. Not about the queen she could have been. Whatever, she cares about her kids, and now that both her kids died, all she has is her real grandchildren, and we felt their bond here because they hug her grandma.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's completely focused on that. So that's gonna be. That's why I think Rhaenyra will have to tell her that Laenor is alive, or something along that line to keep her on her side. And Corlys, we know that because the fight scene was interesting because basically the lines were drawn. The Valyrians will have to take Rhaenyra and Daemon's side, no matter what.
Yeah, now they have no choice.
Yeah, they have no choice because Corlys wants his name on the throne, and then that's it. But I did think like finally Vhagar being on Alicent's side made the fight more fair though.
Yeah, and I think that's why Otto Hightower was so pleased with it.
Yeah, like because like before that, if you think about it, there's nothing much going on.
If things started to get serious and things heated up, they had no chance against those dragon riders.
Yeah, I mean they have dragon riders, but I'm assuming like. Aegons and their dragons are younger.
They're way too young. They would just be eaten alive.
Yeah, by that Caraxes.
Yeah, but now we got like the biggest in the world.
Yeah, the Vhagar one. I wonder how they're gonna handle it though. Because see, we haven't seen dragon fights yet, so that's what I think you mentioned it. You wanted to see dragon v dragon.
Yeah, I remember Vhagar. I mean, she's seen some shit. You can tell it from like all those scars and and the hole in the wings. Yeah, she must have like hundreds years of battle experience.
Yeah, but I would say though, I do think like small dragons could be possibly faster. So I would it will be interesting to see how the fight goes because I feel like Vhagar is huge and powerful, but she's slow. Or I think she is because you know how big ships. It takes longer for them to curve, right? So I'm assuming it's the same for the dragon. So Caraxes, like Daemon's dragon is relatively big, but smaller than Vhagar. But I wonder how they're gonna maneuver and fight. But that's interesting.
Yeah. So we are now slowly approaching the end of the season. How many episodes do we have?
3 more left.
3 more.
I think the next one is where Viserys is gonna die. He's gonna die now. Oh, and I love Viserys Again, he goes to show that, he is kingly in a different way. He was the one who told Vaemond that let's put our differences aside.
Yeah. Again, in this episode, he yells out, "We are family." We are family, bastards. Where did you hear this lie?
Yeah.
Where did you hear this lie?
Yeah. I love Aegon though. That Aegon actor kills it. He kills a dumb teenager really well. He plays.
Grandpa, are you blind or
no, father?
Oh, a father? Are you blind as well as stupid? Everybody's been talking about what the fuck.
Everybody knows. No, but I love how Viserys. Oh, I think it did show that Viserys has a soft spot for her. Because I don't know. The impression I got was. Viserys was trying to be fair, but definitely on Rhaenyra's side.
Yeah, that's right.
And and who can blame a father? That's his baby girl. Plus, was it in episode 3 or 4? He confesses to Alicent that he always had a difficult Emma, and then Rhaenyra was the thing that's left of her, and then he calls Alicent Emma.
That's right.
So casually, either dementia's kicking in, and the hurt on Alicent's face. No, but see that makes me sad about Alicent too, because to quote her, she's a baby making machine. Your husband doesn't love you.
Yeah, and she's basically given up all control of her life for this.
Yeah. But back to Viserys though, I think he's gonna die sad. He's gonna die, I think, next episode or next episode, because I think he needs to die for the plot to move forward.
That's right. For this full scale war to happen.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be really sad what he says at his deathbed if he does have a scene like that, because here's a man. We get to see most of Viserys because what do we see him with the most? The old Valyrian model, a Valyrian model he makes, right? Here's a man who dreamt big, and it's all gonna the exact opposite of that's gonna happen. He wanted his family to be strong, so he told his daughter to get married and have kids. He wanted Targaryen bloodline to be strong, so he married again, despite loving his first wife again, and had more children But all of that's not gonna matter. Like everything he planned for is fucked up.
Right. And we know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah, war. Oh man. And what's sad is that children now have a grudge that their parents started.
Like, which is quite sad. If
you think about it, if you're Aemond, you're gonna want to kill that motherfucker, right? Who got your eyes out?
That too, but you got to also remember like the abuse he had to go through. Maybe abuse is a strong word, but all that humiliation that he had to go through.
No, come on though. But this is his own brother that I think felt. I think it's more like no, because
I mean I wouldn't really blame him if he holds a grudge.
No, but remember the fight was instigated by his comment.
Bastard.
Exactly, and
crossed the line right
and
there.
And Rhaenyra is right. That's treason. No, because like. Let's go back to the
How dare you
fight
question the legitimacy of the heir?
Yeah, and then Rhaenyra proposed to question Aemon, and Alicent immediately becomes defensive. She throws everything under the kitchen like, oh, it was just training yard banter. And then you know what I loved about Aemon acting was, you could tell that it was his mother who told him this, but he doesn't snitch. He just throws his brother under the Aegon, and Aegon for the second time says,
"Dumbass,
me." Like,
what the fuck did I do?
Like so casually.
Did I say that?
Yeah, but I think he was smart to say that because if it was anybody else, their life would have been in danger. Like this is like to us, this is funny, but if you consider medieval times, like high treason,
they would burn him alive.
Yeah, so Aegon is safe because. Come on now, you're not gonna kill the prince, and that's another reason why the Criston Cole thing bothered me because, like, if it's Daemon or the royal family saying some like near treasonous shit, it's okay, but like you're a nobody compared to these people. So like him being snarky was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, besides that, everything about that scene was perfect. Though I love how. No, but Aegon doesn't seem like, for me, Aegon didn't seem like such a bad guy to me.
Well, yes, he doesn't seem harmful. Yeah, he seems harmless. But from the previous episode and in this episode, we can tell that he's not so far forged to becoming a leader.
That's a good point. It's kind of given to him, like
Aemond, like we mentioned earlier, he's showing a lot more leadership qualities.
I guess Corlys Valyrian is the only competent firstborn so far, because he's the one. Like, I think
it's not just he's like you said before. He's kingly.
Yeah, he's regal. I love this. Like, I love every scene he was in. I love how he goes to take care of your patron. He's he definitely. I don't think he's a man that's indecisive. He is decisive, though. Like, I think that's a quality that Viserys doesn't have.
And to his family, he has a soft spot.
Yeah.
Unlike Tywin.
You bring up good. Another reason why I like Corlys and Rhaenys couple is look at Laenor and Laena. I mean, we get fewer scenes of them compared to the other characters, but you could tell these are they were raised well. Like even Laenor, Rhaenyra says you're a good man and an honorable man. That's a rare thing. And I felt Laenor was awesome when he says, "Wife, I'm sorry. 10 years ago, we promised that we will look for our joys in each other, but I don't think this can happen. I'm sorry. Let me look at husband." Like, he's like such a nice guy.
Very mature, responsible.
Trying to be responsible. Because look at Daemon. He's like far away from responsible.
Yeah, wife killer.
Wife, not just...
And you can tell that comes from parenthood. Because we've seen scenes of Corlys and Rhaenys being very supportive of each other.
Yeah, they are. They really are. I think they're the... I think Viserys and Emma was too. Yeah. Because Rhaenyra was, I think she had a healthy relationship with her father. But the political situation just... Because, I think Rhaenyra is also forced to become that way. Because I loved her dialogue with Uncle before the marriage, too. I need your help, Uncle. I'm being challenged. And this is the first time she calls the other side Greens. And that's interesting. And the political faction is explicitly mentioned. But I love how, she has a practical need for her uncle. And I'm glad that Daemon is okay being the second the second in the relationship. Because like after this episode, it was obvious to me that Rhaenyra was the leader, and on the other side, I think Alicent is the leader. Like, because Otto Hightower, like, remember, like, as smart as he is, he got kicked out because he was too fucking desperate. Like, you know, take your own advice, old man. Like, like he was too, like, desperate. But I feel like Alicent has a softer touch. Because I loved her scene in the carriage of Viserys, too. Because I think she genuinely cares about Viserys.
Yeah.
She doesn't love him, possibly, but she genuinely cares. And then the actor did a fantastic job of, I'm really sorry. And then Viserys says his favorite line, let's talk no more about this.
We shall talk no more.
Yeah. La 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 la.
This should never be mentioned again.
This did not happen. This did not happen. I'm gonna go. I lost the arm. Why is no one listening to me? La 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 la. Give me some wine. You know, oh, that was like unintentionally hilarious. But anyway, like this episode was like, it's like my second favorite episode of this like season. My second favorite, because my favorite is still, I think, the Rogue Prince one, the one with the crab feeder.
Yeah, the crab feeder battle.
Yeah. Because I feel like that had a scene of him being forged and another being forged, and that was done really well. And the casting was brilliant. I really love Rhaenyra's actor. Like she has a very sexually neutral face, but I felt the sexual energy in the marriage and the sex scene.
I think she's kind of like a fusion of Gwyneth Paltrow and Tilda Swinton.
Oh, interesting. No, because I know what you're saying. Like when she was in those sexy scenes and the marriage thing and the kissing was like, it was top notch. But when she's serious, like, I don't know if it's because of her nose. It's like a Roman nose. She has a strength. She's like, uncle. Oh, another foreshadow. We were born in fire. We were meant to burn together. I think that's very ominous.
Yeah.
You could tell that these people are gonna
burn in dragon fire.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of strong hints there. And her lines were top notch. Fire is a prison. Like they're trapped in this power. It gave me Criston Cole's before he turned fanatic about let's run away. But Rhaenyra has the duty of Song and Ice and Fire.
I am the crown, she said.
Yeah. We get that responsibility from her. And it's not, so both sides, it's not all selfish motivation. At least they perceive it that way. Otto Hightower, I think, is straight up selfish motivation. Like he wants his, but anyway.
So we're desperate to see what happens next. And we can kind of guess where this is headed. But I'm wondering how the writers will finish this off.
Yo, Won-Jin, I'm going to make a prediction. I was completely wrong. There's going to be no rest episodes. Every episode is an escalation. Escalation. I bet my bottom dollar something good fucked up's going to happen next episode. Like, this is not even a question anymore. Every episode, there's going to be something fucked up. Like, this one was a kid losing an eye. Like
the next one is going to be like a kid stabbing another kid's eye.
I don't know, a brawl. Like, at least a brawl. At least a brawl. Or some political fuck you. Because remember, like episode 6, we had the Strong family burned alive. Here we got kid lose an eye. Oh, and I also I think there's I feel bad for the guy who stand in as Laenor's dead body. I think that kind of reminded me that this was a fight between really rich people, and it kept getting back to that line what Daemon said: the small folks matter. And remember, in Game of Thrones, Cersei, the most arrogant character, gets her like comeuppance by the people. I think there's a strong hint that something's like that's going to happen. These are like rich people fighting, but Game of Thrones taught us that the small folks have power. And that's just true. They keep dropping these breadcrumbs that I think is a strong hint. And so that'll be interesting to see. But anyway, I think you have anything to add? I think we
Well, one last thing. If only they had DNA analysis technology, none of these tragedies would happen. I mean, it would be a different tragedy. there would be
Yeah.
so much less misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
They'd be like, there's a 0% match that Rhaenyra's kids are your descendants. Holy shit.
Yeah. No, but they ride dragons, so I think that just. I think the hair is the only problem. The hair is the only problem, and I don't know, but but one of the beauty of this series is that everything that's happening didn't have to happen this way. Because let's be honest, Rhaenyra could have just married Larys Strong.
That's true.
She didn't need to marry the Velaryons. I mean,
they could have just given Aemond the dragon.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this was avoidable. A lot of everything happening here it's not written. It's being written by these people who are making choices that are sometimes selfish. Let's be honest, just like us. Sometimes very flawed, but understandable.
And Laena could have stayed home and gave birth there, and maybe the maesters there could have saved her.
No, that's also a good point. Yeah. And then Rhaenyr's line was really good, but that's also I love how women are so powerful in this series, though. It's definitely, now that both Alicent and Rhaenyra has children, it's really about motherhood. I feel like the title could have been Motherhood. I mean, we said Big Ass Dragon and it's casual incest. But this episode could have been called Motherhood. And Rhaenyr's got a lot of screen time because her dialogues are really strong. When she puts down the earring, the filming is brilliant. So many symbolism. She brings down the possibly very rich ass earring and says, maybe the gods have punished us for our insatiable pride. Oh, and she's such a badass, and she's like an upgrade version of Rhaenyra and Alicent in a lot of ways because she's been through it all.
That's right.
She's like, this little bitches. I'm the queen bitch. I've been through it all. I almost had the crown. I had kids. Now they're dead. I have grandchildren. What the fuck are y'all talking about? She has experience.
That's right.
So I really love that. I would say this episode have made me forgive everything I complain about episode 6 because I see them as a package. I see them as a package because of the Laenor redemption arc, let's say. Yeah.
So I wonder what's coming next.
Yeah, we can't wait to. Thanks to the series, waiting for Sunday is one of the best things for me. I can't believe I only need to wait 1 or 2 days
after airing this. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, and please let us know if you think we should, do it immediately after. But we like to meet on Saturdays. But anyway, that's our take on latest episode of House of the Dragon. Did you like it? What did you think about it? If you have a comment, please leave a reply.
Leave in the comments.
And we will do the best we can to answer them and share our thoughts. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.